don't think I can do that anymore. Probably shouldn't do that when I'm sick with a cough anyway, right? I don't know if it's gonna happen in this video. I don't even know if I'm recording. Let me check. Yep, I'm recording. I'm recording. That's great. I tried this before, but then the scripture was backwards in the camera. But there's like a little light flying around my face in the video, and I don't know why. And yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, I was at work. I was like contemplating so much stuff today. It was so good. I was like thinking about Robbie's reading that she did about Reuben talking to his kids before he died, and like basically rape in the Bible and different contexts of it, and like why that happens in history, and not just in the Bible but in history. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about the lust of the eyes and spirits behind rape, because like what makes you rape someone? Is it just the lust of the eyes? Can't you have lust of the eyes but then you also like, you know, aren't a rapist, right? So I was just like thinking about all these different things, and that there was some part in that scripture basically about like having a pure heart, or like the full intention of your heart. I was thinking about that too. But then for some reason, this was weird because this wasn't in any scripture or anything. It just like popped into my head. I was thinking about like vows in a courtroom that we do today, like, and how people place their hand on a Bible and like swear to tell the whole truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth, or whatever it is. And I was like thinking, like, why do they do that? Why do they put their hand on the Bible? Like, what even is a vow? Like, is a vow in a courtroom the same thing as a vow, like an oath you would take in the Bible? Like, and I don't even know how it came into my head because I wasn't reading anything about it. It just popped in my head. And so I got home and I was reading the Bible, and in the scripture, what happened is actually I finally got home and I could watch Dexter's video, and he was reading in Numbers, and one of the headings before chapter 30 in Numbers had the word vows, and it caught my eye, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back and read that. So I finished watching his video, and then I did the other video about the fringes, and then now I'm gonna do the one about the vows. I'm gonna read this because I was like, oh, I was thinking about that at work, and now it's in my Bible. Like, that's not a coincidence. So yeah, I'm gonna read it, but I have to take a sip of this. And chew it, because not just a drink, it's a food, because food is medicine, and I'm sick. Garlic, ginger, honey, turmeric. Should have put black pepper in it because that has iron. Lemon and hot water, except that's not hot anymore. Anyway, here's the Bible. Vows. Oh, and the funny thing about this too, you'll see when I read it, it's a lot about like women. It's like instructions for women, which I'm a woman. You probably knew that already, but it's like, it's for me. This word is for me. And I don't know why, but we'll see. Yeah, okay, here we go. This is Numbers chapter 30. And I'm going to read the whole chapter because that's the whole thing. Moses said to the heads of the tribes of Israel, "This is what the Lord commands. When a man makes a vow to the Lord or takes an oath to obligate himself by a pledge, he must not break his word, but must do everything he said. When a young woman still living in her father's house makes a vow to the Lord or obligates herself by a pledge, and her father hears about her vow or pledge but says nothing to her, then all her vows and every pledge by which she obligated herself will stand. But if her father forbids her when he hears about it, none of her vows or the pledges by which she obligated herself will stand. The Lord will release her because her father has forbidden her. If she marries after she makes a vow, or after her lips utter a rash promise by which she obligates herself and her husband hears about it but says nothing to her, then her vows or the pledges by which she obligated herself will stand. But if her husband forbids her, when he hears about it, he nullifies the vow that obligates her or the rash promise by which she obligates herself, and the Lord will release her. Any vow or obligation taken by a widow or divorced woman will be binding on her. If a woman living with her husband makes a vow or obligates herself by a pledge under oath, and her husband hears about it, but says nothing to her and does not forbid her, then all her vows or the pledges by which she obligated herself will stand. But if her husband nullifies them when he hears about them, then none of the vows or pledges that came from her lips will stand. Her husband has nullified them, and the Lord will release her. Her husband may confirm or nullify any vow she makes or any sworn pledge to deny herself. But if her husband says nothing to her about it from day to day, then he confirms all her vows or the pledges binding on her. He confirms them by saying nothing to her when he hears about them. Wow. Talk about the power of keeping your mouth shut. He confirms them by saying nothing to her when he hears about them. If, however, he nullifies them sometime after he hears about them, then he is responsible for her guilt. Woo! These are the regulations that the Lord gave Moses concerning relationships between a man and his wife, and between a father and his young daughter still living in his house. Wow. That's crazy. That's really cool, crazy, because I watched a video again by Jasmine, and she was like talking about her head covering, and like in the video she was saying like some guy asked her like, can I see your hair? Because her hair is always covered. Her head is always covered. And she was like, no. Like, no, you can't. Like, only my husband, when I have a husband, is going to be the only person to see my hair. And I can, like, relate to that, because when I first started wearing my head covering, I would always have it in a turban, even in the summer. And someone asked me, like, are we ever going to see your beautiful hair again? And I was like, no. So I can relate to that. But then I don't wear turbans a lot anymore because it's very, very hot, and I clean for work, and I already sweat so much. And anyway, back to this word. That reminded me of how your husband is your covering. Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Man, the Bible is a treasure. This is so good. What a better thing to do. What day is it? Isn't it Tuesday? I'm going to talk to my academic advisor tomorrow. And I haven't done any homework. But I'm reading the Bible. What's better than that? Probably dying and going to heaven. Okay, now I'm just talking to myself. I should probably end this video and eat a burger, maybe. Oh, that sounds good. I don't know. Yeah, you guys, I don't know. I should actually probably go to the store and buy some spinach. Okay, I just wanted to talk about head coverings in this word. There's so many different things. Man, me and God were just chilling, talking all day, having a blast. making beds all day. And then I got to drive home. I paid my mechanic. Dwayne, I'm going to send you a computer tomorrow. Someone please remind me in case I forget. And what else is going on? Oh, yeah, I sent that money, $300 to Robin for the land. How exciting. Yeah, so that's all. Shalom.